A couple years down the road, you wake up to the smell of flapjacks being cooked.
Fuck yes.
You open your eyes and look over in your king size bed, and your wife is not there. She must be the one downstairs doing the cooking.
Must be.
You put your house shoes on. You go downstairs, and there she is, standing at the stove. She's got a plate of pancakes, maple syrup, butter on the table. She says, "Good morning, my love. How'd you sleep?"
Pretty
And
good.
honestly, yeah, you sleep pretty great. You know, your life is going pretty well. You and your wife, uh, Dana, have a house out in a little suburb. You know,
In
you
Texas.
yeah, you work for her dad's company. He has like a he makes like things out of plastic, basically. People will send him a design. He has like a machine that will make a shape out of plastic, and then he's able to manufacture just large plastic pieces. It's like a weird manufacturing industrial kind of job.
Okay.
You're a shift supervisor there. So you kind of work in the factory itself. You help
Oh,
oversee the
wow.
uploading of these images that will, you make a proof out of the image, and then you send it to the client and they say yes or no, and then the order gets placed and the materials get bought and it gets fulfilled. So you're like it's a pretty small crew at like, the director level, which is what you are. You're the director of product quality at Stiffman Class Plastics.
Diffman.
Stiffman. Stiffman. Stiffman.
Just what I feared.
But you're making like really good money. You're like well into six figures. You have great benefits, ample vacation package. I mean, you're married to the owner's daughter. It's a pretty sweet gig, all things considered.
Do the other people who work there, like, do the people who work under me, like, kind of resent me because I got in because of, the daughter?
If they do, they don't express it to you. You don't get that vibe.
Okay.
It's and again, like you work hard, you pull your own weight, you make sure
Okay.
that like you're on your shit. You may not have, let's put it this way, you may not have earned the job, but you're doing the job. You can walk out of there with your head held high, knowing that you may have been hired under circumstances that other people didn't have the advantage of, but you have certainly maintained a standard of excellence that belies your position. So, you're doing pretty well. And Dana's happy. You get along great with her dad, uh, Doug, Doug Stiffman,
Doug Stiffman.
Douglas Eugene Stiffman, DYS. He's got his initials like on everything. He spells Eugene Yoojean. Just an odd spelling.
Oh, man.
So, you again, you get along great with Doug. You guys go golfing together, you know. He's got a house out on a fucking lake somewhere with a boat that you guys get to use anytime you want. He's honestly been really, really kind to you and wonderful to you since you became, his son-in-law, because he knows how much you care about Dana. and that and that like you're appreciative and you're like self-aware enough to recognize what you've been given
Okay,
because
that's
of
good.
he gets it.
We're all self-aware people.
You're all self-aware at
Nice.
Stiffman Plastics. And he knows that like you would do anything to help the company, you do anything. Like this is like your family business. You think about like your priorities in life. Your loving wife is number one above all things.
Okay,
Your
yeah,
immediate
makes
family
sense.
is number two. Your extended family, your friends, your close circle of friends, and then your job. Because you feel invested in the success of this business. It's something that means a lot to you. So you're like kind of always on the lookout, you're observant of what's being uploaded, what people are buying. You're able to kind of forecast trends. Oh, we might need more of this food grade type of plastic as opposed to non-food grade based on we're seeing a lot of kitchen supplies being crafted here. You're getting designs for things that so you're you're really an integral piece of the beating part of Stiffman Plastics. And you've got a friend that you made recently. And you know how like there are times in life where you've had a friend who's just like a dirty dog. He's just like a raunchy ass. He's got a raunchy joke for everything. Nothing
Yeah,
is
of
too
course, yeah.
far. He's just a fucking hound dog of a dude, right? So you're gonna send him for his birthday a plastic mold of your penis and balls, your erect penis and your balls, and you're putting like above the shaft,
Ugh,
you're including like a bag of chia seeds so you can make like your your pubic hair. So it's meant to be like a piece where it's like this is your dick and balls, and the chia
ugh.
seeds grow, and it's like your bush, right?
Oh my God.
You
That
make it,
is
right?
so insane.
You make it, you upload it in the middle of the night, like you wake up in the middle of the night. Dana is like sound asleep. You get in your car. You don't even put it in drive. You put it in neutral and just let gravity take it down the driveway. You start it with the lights off. You don't turn them on until you're outside of Terrywood Glen. You go to the office at midnight. You upload this thing. You run one piece. It's your dick and ball, your erect dick and balls.
Ugh.
You put a little box together. You put a note inside. You go, his name is uh Derek Gunt. G
Derek
U
Gunt.
Yeah, Guntte, right? You send him a note. It says, "Hey, fuckface, hope you enjoy this." You go, these are pretty easy to grow. Say, I love you, Pat. You send it
Wow.
off. It gets to him, and he fucking loves it.
I bet.
He loves it. He's like, Pat,
I
this
knew
is
he
like
would.
gift. You're like, he's like, do you have? Could I like make this? Could I send you like my hog and could you like make
No.
this for me?
No.
He's like, there are so many people I would send this to.
No. I'm not gonna do that.
So
I get why you're asking, but no.
yeah, you're like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But he sends you pictures of like your genitalia and like the bush and how the chia seeds are growing on it, and it looks
Oh
pretty fucking
God.
good.
He like keeps me updated.
Yeah, yeah. He's sending you pictures. He
Oh,
takes a
that's
picture
decent of
every
him.
day. from the same angle so you can see the growth of the seeds over time.
Good.
So you go into you go into work the next day. You're having like a corporate there's like a corporate meeting that you're involved in, you know.
Okay.
You guys go into the boardroom, like the meeting room. Doug stands at the head of the table and he goes, "Well, guys, this is a day that's been coming that I haven't been looking forward to." He says costs are rising everywhere and we just can't maintain current course with our margin. They say we need something big. We need a Hail Mary. We need a product that we can produce in-house, that we can put on shelves, that we can sell to the American people. He looks at you with tears in his eyes. He goes, "I'm
Oh
begging you
no.
guys.
Oh
Does
no.
anybody got anything? Anything?" His lip quivers. You get a text message. You get a text message from Gunt, and he's got his hand around your penis into the thing, and his text says, "Look how good you fit my hand."
Ah, Gunt.
Right? He sends you stuff like that a lot of times too. Like one time, he sent you one picture of where he had like smeared peanut butter on your balls, and he was like licking them off
Oh,
of the
Gunt.
balls. He's definitely sent several pictures with where it's like in his mouth, you know.
Is Gunt cool? Like, is he like
Yeah, I mean, you like him, you know.
okay? Well, then I would think this was hilarious.
He fills a very specific niche in your life.
I would it's the type of thing that I would just I would tell my brother every time it happened because I know he
Yeah.
would think that was really funny too. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
fucking weird.
yeah. You forward all the pictures to Kevin. And Gunt even
It,
tells you one time, he's like, "You don't ever show these to anybody, do you? Like this is just between you and me."
who would I show, dude?
Yeah, you reassure him, you know.
Just lie to
So
him.
yeah, you just fucking lie to his face.
Just lie to him.
So he sends you that text. He's like, he goes, "Dude, for real. If I could send you a mold and you can make this for me, I'd buy so many of them." A light bulb fucking goes off above your head.
Ah, no.
You raise your hand. Doug looks at you and he goes, "Pat." He goes,
Yeah,
"What do you got?" And you tell him.
yeah.
You say, "This is a little out of left field." Say, but I
A
think I think
little.
that there's a way we could get people to send us pictures of their genitalia, and we could turn it into like a chia pet with their pubic hair. We send them a kit with a realistic mold of their goods and an adequate amount of chia seeds to grow the requisite hair, whatever they need. And they go, you could send it to lovers, you could send it to friends. It's a great gag gift. It would be very inexpensive. You could build a very basic application that would allow you to get a rough idea of what everything looks like.
I'm so glad that this is a Hail Mary because I would be in so much trouble under normal circumstances. Imagine doing that.
Doug stands
Hey,
there and he
it's
uh
your
he
dick
looks at
and balls.
he looks at you and he goes, "How much are we talking per piece?" He goes, "I don't care what it is." He goes, "What's it going to cost us?" And you do a little bit of math and you go like, I mean, they'll probably cost 45 cents a piece to make, and we could wholesale them out for $13 and they'll sell for 20, and it's that kind of a thing." They go, "This could be a home run." So you design and create, you call it a dub bush. And
Oh man.
you are like the creator. It's like a personalized mold of genitalia and an area where you grow chia seeds to represent their pubes, right?
This is this is the worst thing I've ever heard.
No, so like when you first get the design,
I
you
mean,
there's
no.
you have like a drafting table in your basement with like a single light on, and you're like really working a big piece of paper. You're like drawing it out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put a lot of time and energy into the design. You work with the marketing people, right? You talk about the packaging. You got your factory involved. You're on the phone with distributors like, "Hey, Spencer's Gifts, do you want this thing? It's a chia pet for your pubes." And the guy Spencer himself, he's like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome." And so you guys they place a huge fucking order, right? They're at Spencer's all across the country. So you guys are like, and so you're like the number one retailer of these things. So you have a couple different. The Bush has a couple of different products, right? There's one. First off, they have like there's a line called the Classics, and it's just like famous penises of old. Like
Oh
there's
my
like the
God.
Abraham Lincoln, which is like very long and thin,
How
you
do you
know.
know? How do we know what it? I mean, are we guessing?
Um, you know, you ask the R&D department about that, and they go, Pat, it's two guys, two twins, Rutherford and Jutherford Johnson, and they look at each other and they go, let us handle the science.
All
So
right.
yeah, there's like superhero ones, like there's like the Hulk, it's just exactly what you think it would be.
How do I
Um,
mean? Okay, the presidents I get. We can't do the Hulk. That's like a licensed thing.
no, I'm saying like Marvel gets involved.
Oh, really?
Iron Man, like right in the hole is like one of those discs that's in his chest. I forget what it's called right now.
Wait, the like the arc reactor. Well, hold on. They
Yeah,
get involved with
yeah.
this. Why would they want to come within a mile of this? This is.
Because the Bush is sweeping the nation. Okay,
Oh,
right? The Bush is selling out everywhere.
I
Right?
hate the
It's
Bush.
kind of like a weird retro thing, that was big when we were younger. So it's kind of having like a renaissance online. It becomes a big thing. It's a big viral thing on TikTok. Um, so point being, like you guys, you make a deal with Marvel, you make a deal with like various superstars of the world, athletes, you know, like Wesley Snipes does one. Like there's like a whole bunch of people that are getting their mold. So you're building like a catalog, and women are doing it too.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of women are doing it. You know, getting a lot
Okay.
of again, a lot of famous people are doing this. You guys, there's a Marge Simpson one. I'm not gonna lie to you. So like they
That
are
sucks.
flying off of the shelves everywhere.
Uh,
You guys
yeah.
and people like you keep a handful of like the most popular ones in stock. You have the his and hers, which is like the personalized one, where you can take it's where you use your own, and then one is created based on your size and shape and dimensions and all that. And but then they have like some of the licensed ones already out there too. But it's a pretty limited
Okay.
selection. And on all of your boxes, it says like, hey, visit us online for more options. So like at that point, if somebody wants to buy like Super Mario, they can do it in the store. But if somebody wants a Luigi, they got to go online. It's kind of like
Oh,
that.
wow. Okay.
So, and the ones you sell online, you still sell for $20, but there's no middleman. So you're making a shitload more money. So you plant the seed and then you lure them to your website for the more obscure characters. So the Bush goes nuclear, right? Nuclear. And your father-in-law Doug, the quarter after like this holiday season, he comes to you at the holiday party and he pulls you aside. He goes, "Your idea is single-handedly not only save this company, but put us in a position to be around for the next 3 decades, guaranteed. Like you have single-handedly secured the future of my family's business." And he goes, "And frankly, your family's business." He pulls a check from his jacket pocket. It's $30,000.
Whoa.
He
What is
goes,
that? Like a bonus or?
"Yeah, it's like a holiday
Jeez.
bonus." He goes, this might not be enough. I think it's a lot." He goes, it's a lot, but I still think your impact was more valuable than this." He goes, "Thank you for being such an incredible business partner and son-in-law." And he says, "Pat," he looks you right in his eyes. "There's blue as a pool liner in the middle of July. Brilliant, reflecting." He says, "I love you, Pat." And he gives you a big hug.
Wow, thank you.
The Monday after the holiday party comes, and your father-in-law calls like an urgent meeting. You think it's like, oh, there's a change to like Q1. Like, what are we doing this next quarter? How are we kicking off the new year? That kind of thing. He sits at his desk. He was always like a suit and tie kind of guy. He sits at his desk with a jacket on. He's not wearing a tie. He's got a glass of what looks to be brown liquor in front of him.
Uh-oh.
He puts his feet up on the desk and he says, "Everybody sit down." Everybody has a seat. He stands up. He goes, I started this company back in 1982, working out of my garage. He goes, I bought plastics from all over the world to make things at a good cost for people who wanted them. And I kept it here in the United States. He goes, we slowly were able to grow our operation and expand our factories and hire more people. He says, and as of late, the business has flourished. And he goes, and that's not all on me. He goes, and he says, I recognize that. I've had a lot of help along the way. He takes a long drink. The room's totally silent. He says, a great leader knows when his time is done, and my time is done. And he looks at you from across the room. He goes, Pat, it's your show now, buddy.
What?
And everybody kind of like gasps, you know? So he goes, come on up here. So you kind of like walk through the crowd of people. People are like clapping and stuff. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce your new CEO and president of Stiffman Plastics, the man who single handedly revitalized this company. He's one of the brightest minds in this room, and he's a damn good man. He says, ladies and gentlemen, Pat Dean. Everybody applauds. You address the room full of people. What would you say to them?
Man, I was so nervous like 5 minutes ago. I thought we
Everybody
were all in
laughs.
huge, yeah, I thought we were in huge trouble. I thought something really bad had happened. Wow, guys, this is crazy. This is honestly a surprise, so I'm gonna need to some time to kind of get my bearings on this, but I look forward to continue working with you guys. And hey, let's give a toast to Our departing leader. And I hold up a glass.
There like aren't enough glasses like for everybody, and people just kind of like look around. You give a toast, nobody has like a glass to toast with.
Oh shit.
There's light applause coming from the crowd.
Oof.
Doug just kind of chuckles.
I think I would say out loud, woo, fucked that up. I think I would just fully admit.
Doug laughs and he
Sorry,
goes,
guys.
"It's all up from here, Pat."
Ugh, I hope so.
Everybody leaves. He asks you to stay back, and he goes, "I didn't want to spring it on you, but I didn't think there was any other way that made sense to me." He goes, "Thanks for helping us get back to this point. I have total faith in you.
Thank you,
Whatever
Doug.
happens to the business from this point forward will be your decision and your decision alone." He goes, "I'm here to help if you have any questions along the way, but I don't want to guide your decision making. I trust you 100%." So he kind of like shows you to your new office. It's his old office, right? He has everything taken out of there except for a picture that he had on the wall of you and your wife. He leaves that up. He goes, "That should stay right here. Your office is beautiful, right?" Over the next couple months, Stiffman Plastics continues to grow. You know, you strike a licensing deal with Disney, just kind of in general. So you make like Donald Duck one. There's like a Mickey and a Minnie. Um,
That is the
like
worst.
yeah, but
I hate this
The
company
Disney,
so much.
dude, the Disney people go nuts
Ugh,
for it.
really?
Yeah, dude. The Disney ones, you sell out a Mickey Mouse within the first like 6 minutes. So, you know, you guys are looking into different expansions, right? You bought out a a chia seed farm in Vietnam. You bought the fucking farm, and then they're just shipping boxes and boxes of chia seeds to you. So you're like really streamlining the whole process. You're growing the brand, you know, you're taking the baton and running with it. You come in one Tuesday morning, your secretary, her name's Janet. She goes, Pat, we have a 10 a.m. She goes, I think it's a couple of investors.
Okay.
You know, that's weird. We don't really have investors, but whatever, you know. So you know, you have your morning coffee, go through your emails, take care of anything pertinent, put your jacket on at 10 a.m. and in walk a man and a woman. And they look young, but they also look really old. I don't know how to say it any better than that, right?
What?
Like physically they look young, but you can tell that they're very old. Like they have like an old spirit, an old soul kind of a thing, you know?
Oh. Oh no.
Right? They're kind of that kind of just like person.
And not in like a good way.
I don't know. I mean, it probably depends on your disposition, but so
Am I
they
getting like weird vibes from these guys right away or
oh
anything?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's not good. All right.
Yeah, yeah, but then again, it's like the industry you're in, you get weird vibes from a lot of people.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
So
Not gonna help you, folks.
this man and this woman walk in. They sit down in the chairs in front of you, and they say, "Hello, Mr. Dean." They say, "We just want to first off, before we say anything, tell you just what a fan we are of DeBush in all of its forms. We think you guys are, I mean, what an incredible gift.
Thanks, man.
At this point, you sold like millions of them, right?" And they say, "We want to make you an offer. Basically, we want to buy you out." He says, "My name is Adam, and this is Eve. and Adam and Eve are sitting in front of you, and they own adamandeve.com. And they're like, we want to buy the bush and sell it exclusively through our website. Eve takes a bite out of a fucking beautiful bright red apple.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay. Um, how much are we talking here?
They say, well, this we know it's a family business. We know that you guys don't have much overhead on this thing, but there's no third party. You have a licensing deal. They go, we'd be happy to buy you out of that. Because that's terms you'd have to set with the other party as well. They go, but we basically want to like buy everything and we'll give you $5 million. For just a split second, Eve has a snake wrapped around her neck. When you look again, it's not there.
5 million seems low.
Adam kind of like strokes his beard. He goes, well, tell me what you're thinking, Pat.
Well, I mean, we're at the top of our game right now. We're only getting bigger. We have somehow a license with Disney, Marvel. I mean, that's crazy. That's
I
such
can't
a
tell you how many Mickey Mouse the bushes you have sold.
right. Yeah, you said that. You said
I
earlier
mean,
it was
Mickey Mouse has got to be at least over 500,000 units alone. I mean, it's astounding.
yeah. So, uh, $20 million.
He kind of laughs. He goes, Pat, I'm not made of money. He goes, I can give you seven. Eve takes another bite out of that fucking apple. She says, eight is our highest, not a penny more.
Can't do it, man. Not worth it. It's not worth it to me.
He kind of looks, Adam like looks over at Eve. She shrugs. You swear you hear the sound of like a snake falling and hitting the floor.
I know it's a snake. I recognize that sound as the sound of a snake
Yeah.
hitting the
Well,
floor.
when you hear the sound, you think of like that is a snake. That's what a snake would sound like if it fell off of her shoulders. If
I
it
just
slinked
know
off
it.
of her
Okay.
shoulders and hit the floor. It's a big fucking snake. So he gets up out of his chair and he goes, well, Mr. Dean, this has been interesting, I guess. I'll talk to my people. He smiles like a big, great big grin. Eve doesn't look at you. She just takes another bite out of an apple and walks away.
I'm sorry we couldn't do business.
You go home, right? You talk to Dana and you're like, yeah, you think the Adam and Eve people want to buy the bush? And she's like, what? And they're like, yeah, they offer to buy us out. Like for they're gonna give us up to $8 million. And she's like, holy shit. She's like, that's so much money. Yeah, and you're like, well, but it's your family business, do you think you should talk to like your dad about this? Like, is this a conversation that we should have? So she's like, yeah, it probably is a good idea for us to like sit down as a family and talk about it if it's something worth entertaining. She calls him up, invites him over for dinner.
What do we have?
Uh, shepherd's pie.
Ooh, yeah.
So the table's set, right? You guys dish up the shepherd's pie. Her dad is like, you know, so how are things going at the factory? And you tell him, you're like, oh yeah, things are going good. expected to have X revenue, and we're gonna beat our plan by how, you're talking to him just kind of about like raw, like top level numbers, and he goes, or he says, the Adam and Eve people came to see me and they want to buy us out. And he kind
Yeah,
of
they talked
stops.
to
He
me
goes,
too.
well, that's what you're like telling him. You're like telling him like,
Oh,
yeah,
of
they
course.
came to me
Damn
and
it.
they're like they want to buy me out.
Yeah.
And he kind of like looked at you and he goes, how much did they offer? You said, I told them 20 million, but they only offered 8. He kind of stops, takes a sip of water. He says, 8 million's not a bad deal to be and
Really?
just be done and just be done with it.
Oh,
Never think about it again.
you think so?
He's like, yeah, that's good money. And as like CEO, you're making like 300 grand. So you're making like good money, but it's not
Sure.
like that. I mean, that's a lot of money. $8 million is a bunch of money. He kind
Oh,
of
so I should have taken the deal.
he goes, he said, I found in all my years that if somebody wants it, they'll pay for it, even if uh even if you have to go back to them.
Hmm.
He goes, of course, you could certainly keep trying to grow the brand. Everything seems to be going well. All your revenue is on track. Everything projects. And he kind of leans in the table. He goes, at some point, you're going to need another product. The bush is only going to take you so far.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point.
He kind of you know, finishes his meal. And he said, like I told you, whatever you want to do with it. He kisses his daughter on the forehead. He says, I love you guys. And he leaves. What do you do?
I think I just go to bed, sleep on it.
You go to bed. You have a dream of like a ball python slithering up to you.
Oh
And
no.
you're like standing with your feet together. And you feel this snake just wrap around your body, just coiling around you. You feel the blood being squeezed up out of your feet, up through your guts, through your chest, and you feel like it's going to blow out of the top of your skull. And the moment that the last bit of that snake wraps around your eyeballs, you just wake up. So do you reach out to the Adam and Eve people and offer to sell?
Yeah, I think because of that dream, I call them.
You call them, and you have Adam's card, and you're like, hey, I think we should get together again. I think there's some ground we can make up to get this deal done. So they come back to your office, right? They're sitting there, you guys are having drinks. They're having Diet Cokes.
Okay.
Adam says to you, he goes, so what's the number? What's the new number? He goes, we told you where we were at. You said, that wasn't going to do it. What's your number? What are you asking for?
I'll do it for 9.
They kind of look at each other and they go 9 million. We take over everything. They take over the licensing. They take over the factory, and Stiffman Plastics no longer exists. He puts a hand out. You shake his hand.
I shake his fucking hand.
You shake his hand. They draw up the documents. They have them drawn up. Your lawyer, looks over them. Everything's good to go. Pretty cut and dry. The factory is not going to close. It'll just be absorbed by their company, and they'll continue to do things as they have been. They want to be the person who runs your model at this. So like it's really not impacting anybody other than you. You sign the document, you know. You transfer like literally you give them the keys to the building, you know, and they'll get all the information they need from the people who have it. And your role is terminated pretty much effective immediately.
I think I like
Adam,
before I give him the keys, I kind of like take a second and like look at him, you know, like
you make
dramatically.
you make note of them of what they look like in your mind's eye.
Yeah.
And you think of all the hard work and sweat equity and sacrifice that went into this small business and how you're selling it out now for $9 million. You stand out on the like the grate, the railing above the factory floor. The floor shuts off. All of your workers are looking up at you. What do you say to them?
Like, guys, man, I should have thought ahead of time of someone to say. Uh, Free pizza.
They all just cheer, right? You just hear like just a roar come from beneath you. It almost
And
like shakes
wings.
you. And some you say and wings, and some guy goes, and wings, and everybody just blows up, right?
Hell yeah.
So you're standing there, right? You like go down onto the factory floor. You're like high-fiving people, right? People are like walking along, right? You're walking along and you're telling people, "Hey, it's like my last day. I'm leaving," you know. And you turn the corner and a box full of Mickey Mouse ones just falls off of a fucking off of like
Oh,
a fucking a
no.
shelf. And you look up just in time, and Mickey Mouse's dick just goes right into your one of your eyeballs. And there are like so many of them that it like drove your head into the concrete floor and just like split it open like a summertime melon, just easily.
Oh my God.
And then
Ah,
the one guy goes, "Hey, are we still getting wings?" And you fucking die right there.
do they still get wings?
No, no.
Oh shit.
Adam says, "That was a deal you made with Mr. Dean, not me." And he cracks a whip and he like cracks the
What?
and he hits the button that turns the machines back on and he just screams, "Bark!" And he makes their lives a living hell.
Oh,
It like
really?
ruins their lives. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what do you, how?
Oh, it just turns into a miserable place to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a big blood stain that you left on the floor. They got all the solids off, but you know, they're not going to pay anybody to come clean it.
Jeez, really? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah. It sucked.
Yeah, that fucking sucked real bad.
Yeah.
Real, real bad.
Mickey Mouse.